yourself for everyone?
So I'm Suulfur, and I make art, free art, and I've just been doing that for the past year, and it's been going pretty good. Yeah, just doing commissions mostly at the moment, but I'd love to do more of my stuff maybe at the start of next year. Who knows?
Now, what's it like being an artist for you?
For me, yeah, I started doing art again by the start of this year. Like, I've always been an artist. I think most people are sort of lean towards that, but I was kind of on a hiatus for a couple of years because I was trying to focus on, like, maybe not having that to be a defining feature of me. I was kind of like, it was like me trying to go against the grain, like, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm not just an artist. But for the past year, I kind of realized, like, I can't help but make art. I was doing this chemistry course, and it was going okay, but I was so itching to, like, make art, and I just couldn't focus properly. I said, screw it. Like, I'm gonna drop out. I'm gonna do art, and it's just sort of what I've been doing, sort of the path I've been going to. But yeah, maybe one last thing I'd say about it is art really reflects it's really determined by your mind state, like the way you draw or what your style is, or, you know, everything that goes into it. It's all you. It's all a product of, like, a certain time, sort of like a zeitgeist or something. I don't know how to put it really, but I don't know. I've just been trying to.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I would 100% agree with you. I'm pretty much sure everyone would as well. And also a lot of other people, like, as well. Every person that I've met that wouldn't want themselves to be, you know, pigeonholed, either accomplish extraordinary things in life that aren't just bounded by one thing that defines them. They're defined by themselves.
And it's a tricky thing to balance out, I guess. Because I also believe you can't. Okay, I'll just say how it comes out, but you can't really. I think it's really important to have, like, a wide range of inspiration, or you don't just have one source from what you're, you know, I don't know, working from. And it sounds kind of ambiguous, like, what am I saying here? But I don't know, for example, I've been trying to, I don't know, for the past 2 months, I've been trying to go out more, like, just do different things, like, just go on adventures and see where it gets me. And I think that's really helped me, like, feel better about making art, and also the opportunities, like, you can sometimes find yourself in. Just, like, and by going out, I mean, like, I don't know, I like to go outside, just pick a location and just vibe out, or go out to the club, or, like, a bar, or, I don't know, some friends just invited me, and then that can ricochet into finding more people, maybe. I don't know, but it really helps when you have other things to look forward to, and I think that helps in how you feel about your own art. At least for me, it does. Like, I find the days when I'm just inside, or, like, I'm just making art, I kind of, like, get in my head. It's like, it's just not good for my well-being, really. And I don't know. It's really important to find what makes you feel good, or, like, what makes you be your best self, really. Absolutely.
You know, I think that lifestyle is really good. I think everyone should strive to at least aim towards that lifestyle, because you're out there living life, you know, because you only get it once. You only get one.
Exactly.
So you're just doing what makes you happy.
Exactly. And take risks, you know, you're getting yourself into, but sometimes it's exciting to just get into whatever.
Yeah.
Having one life shouldn't stop you. I think it should be, like, the most of it. Come on. Anyway, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Good question. Let's see. You know what? I need to look at my own art to maybe explain this. Wait. Well, mostly I make images from, honestly, sometimes I make, like, especially personal art, I make from maybe, like, an experience I've had. I don't know. I've made this, like, DJ Wolf once, like, in just jamming out. This was, like, in February I made this. It was because, like, it was my first time, like, going to the club, seeing my friend DJ, and it was like, oh my god, I need to draw this. It's, like, in my head. I need to put this down. And then, I don't know, for later pieces, Yeah, and for later pieces, like, they're just a product of how I'm feeling, really, and I think it helps to put it down, to get it over with and move on to the next sort of idea or picture.
Yeah.
If there's, like, an image itching in my head, it's important to get it out, in one way or another. Yeah, definitely. Okay, but it doesn't answer what inspirations. I mean, you know, I like music. Music helps me. I don't really watch that much media. Like, I wish I had more time to watch series or movies, but honestly, I find it hard, especially to do it by myself. I usually watch movies and such with other people, and that's like an occasional thing. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll go to the art gallery.
So,
That can
like,
help as well.
it means something then.
Yeah. Like, my art? Or?
No, like art, of course, but when you watch movies as well, because you don't do it, like, all the time. You only do it, like, on occasions, and you also do it with your friends and stuff like that. So it's like a living in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to reduce, like, how much, it might sound wrong, like, how much you're inspired from. I mean, like, I don't know, I've gotten into the habit of, like, I save posts or images that I think I'll go back to later, but I never do. And
yeah.
I can still appreciate the art, but your art comes from you. And I think if you tap into what you're into and what you're doing, I think that can be very helpful. When you try to be something else, sometimes it can come out, like, kind of awkward.
Yeah, because there's also that statement, too, is like you're trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Which is maybe negative, like, most of the time that I hear it, but it kind of does apply to that.
Like, yeah, no comment. Like, it's just like that.
Now, I'm not sure if you answered this or if it would count towards this, but you got yourself into art, right? Or was there, like, anyone or something specifically that got you into art, like, into doing it?
Honestly, I definitely have a lot of, like, most of my family are into something, like, creative related.
Yeah.
A lot of my family don't really have real jobs, so just have their thing going on. Mm-hmm. They are real jobs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And growing up in that environment maybe makes you more confident about what you do. But in terms of doing furry art and doing digital art, honestly, that was just
a product.
Like, to be honest, it was because of there's a story to this. I used to play Animal Jam. Okay, maybe you've heard of it, right? And people used to host art contests, and I would love joining them or, like, trying to do something. And it kind of prompted me to get a drawing tablet, like a Wacom trackpad thing. Mm-hmm. It's the same one I've been using for like 10 years, basically.
Ooh.
Or 8. I don't know. It's been a while. And I guess so it's been like about 8 years, maybe, or 7. I've been drawing digitally. And these art contests, like, they made me think very, like, critically. I was so hungry to get, like, the prizes. I'm like, oh, I want that rare item so bad. And I'm like, okay, I gotta improve my art. I really gotta lock in. And I don't know. And I got to a point I was actually starting to win stuff, and it was great. And that's when I got bored with the game. And I just kind of moved on to doing my own stuff, really. And it was another journey. You know, you can nail down the skill aspect, and you keep learning forever, really. But there is the skill aspect to art, but there's also the content aspect. Like, what are you drawing, right?
Yeah.
Which is like another journey maybe I had to go through. Like, maybe I got more confident in my skill, but as to what to draw, I think recently, like throughout this year, it's been pretty good. Like, drawing hasn't been horrendous. Like, I usually come to drawing like feeling okay. Like, I can do this. Like, yeah.
And I mean, I would agree with you too, because I would feel amazing if I was able to draw like that.
I guess, yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. If you feel good, I think you draw good, and it doesn't have to be like drawing. Good drawings can just feel good without being like technically skilled. And I think, honestly, I think that's a little more. I think I value that more, and I think other people do as well. You can just like draw pretty things, like that's nice, but it doesn't really go much deeper than that, if that makes sense.
I was like kind of like Starry Night, right? Like
Like
painting?
Starry Night? Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. What about it?
I mean, it's just a lot of people, or some people would say it's just little dots on pages, but it probably
Oh,
felt good to paint out and everything, and it had depth to
yeah.
like that artist.
Yeah, I mean, an artist's value. Actually, I read this somewhere recently that an artist's value isn't created by just making random stuff, like whatever it is they make. It's about how much you actually spend time making art. Like, if you want to be an artist, you kind of have to you have to live and breathe it, basically. And that's how you make a name for yourself. It doesn't have to be great art, whatever that means. But the fact that you care enough to make it, like, so much, like, spend so much time doing it, in itself, like, increases your legitimacy. If I have to put it in these art words, yeah, I think if that rings true. Not every grand piece of art, or, like, popular or praised is, like, it doesn't have to be that impressive.
Like, it's
Like,
simple.
you never know you never know what things, like, speak to people. The algorithm gods pick out to bless you with
Oh, yeah.
a rise in likes or whatever setting it is.
Now that I think about it, the whole human, like, as all of us are, as we consume, it's kind of like an algorithm itself if you think about it. Like, back then, they did not like that stuff. He only, like,
No.
it was the Van Gogh that did the Starry Night, right? I probably sound unintelligent by saying that. But,
No, it's okay. Yeah,
they didn't like it back then. They like it now,
Yeah,
though.
like he was not noticed. Like I've been wondering about that. Like, how did artists get to be picked out back then? Like, how did the painters, like the masters, get to be, taught in history books and like art history and whatever? Like, why are these the people we look up to? But there's a lot of things that go into it that is out of their control. And some of those painters just have connections as well. That's another aspect to it. Like, where you grew up and whatever. Like, it kind of boils down to who and just all these little things. And we're lucky to live
with that. I think
like
I think they call it takes a village or something.
Yeah, I think that's related to like raising children, but I think it's just like nepotism, like just knowing the right people.
Oh, yeah.
And they get you somewhere. But we're lucky to live in the day we do. I think a lot of more artists have it a bit easier to get out there. Like, obviously, it's still work. And if you tap into the right niche, you can get pretty successful, and you just kind of build from there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like, that's in terms of online art making. Like, if you post your art online, I feel like you can definitely get recognized a lot easier.
The age of technology surely did, the age of the internet surely did help a lot of people start their career.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Pretty sure they started mine, too.
Yeah.
All right, now, are there any artists that you look up to or would like to collab with?
If I talk more locally, I do have some artist friends who are in certain fields, like sound design or music or something. Like, I would love to collaborate with them in some way. I want to do more animation. That's another thing. I used to animate as well. That was when I was like an adolescent, but I haven't had animation takes a lot of time. But picking up Blender would be amazing, and if I could utilize that, like, video content is awesome, and I'd love to pursue that more. And I love your video content, by the way. Like,
thank you.
I love seeing it, especially your animations. Like, that'd be great. But otherwise, online, hard question. I haven't thought about it too much. I just do like occasional art trades, right? I don't know if that counts as collaboration, but I got my art music, where that takes me. But honestly, I don't have any names in mind, like who would I collab with. I think most people they'll just come around when they do, and it'll be like a spur of the moment, maybe. Who knows?
Okay. Are any of those files out there of your old animations? Like, do you think you could scavenge those up, or are those like long gone?
Oh, they're unlisted on my old YouTube channel. They do still exist, but they're unlisted. But I can access them. They were mostly like animation memes, really short ones, or they were like those multi-animator project things. But I made them when I was like 13, I think. Yeah.
No way.
They were what they were.
A product of their time.
Yeah, a product of their time, exactly. Animation memes used to be so big back then.
Which
Yeah.
ones were you making? Like, what community were you making, or
Which
like
one?
fandom were you making? I had to imagine like it was a fandom
You
back
know,
then, right?
question. I think there are like a few different ones. I think some of them were just like, post your character doing whatever. Like it's pretty open ended. I joined some pretty open ended ones. Like you just have to adhere to like a color palette maybe and like the time obviously. But I think and I did maybe one. I wasn't warrior cats. It was just like you have to include a feral animal, like a four-legged OC or something. I don't know. I wasn't really part of a fandom. It was just like furry, anthro, OC, whatever sort of deal. Yeah.
Is there any messages that you would like to give anyone else besides artists, or just everyone out there in the whole world? Or are there any questions you'd like to ask me?
If I had to say something to the world, it would be about art because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I would just say make the thing you really want because otherwise someone else will make it. Okay. No matter how good or bad it is, you're gonna get good at making that thing. Yeah, and I don't know. How have you been doing? Like, what are some projects you really want to make?
Well, I've been doing good for the most part. The main project I want to make, or like the biggest one that I'm shooting for is I have this vision in my head where both my character and Ace are in 3D in Blender in a white background playing Bowling for Soup song. And I want to like 3D animate that in Blender. I just have to figure out how to model and then rig and do all this other stuff, and it's really time-consuming and hard.
Yeah. Oh, have you used Blender before? Or
yeah.
Like, have you made 3D stuff before? I don't think I've seen you make 3D things yet.
I made 3D models, not character models, but I have made like structures and objects and stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
have made an animation. The Sonic one that I did, that was in Blender, and the radio intros in Blender as well.
Oh yeah, you can also 2D animate there. I forgot about that. Yeah, everyone talks about it like it's the 3D one, but you can also 2D animate, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so great that there's a free software. It's the OBS of.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all good. Happy to do it, and I'm really excited how this turns out. I really love the logo you made. It's really good.
Thank you. Yeah,
I love the markings you made. Like they look kind of tribalistic. I like the geometric spin to them. It makes it looks fun.
Well,
I'm so excited to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, check in with me. All good. Awesome. Have a great evening.
Thanks, you too. All right, peace out.
Yeah.